Why do you think? Welcome to another episode of Dear Neighborhood. I'm your host, Kirstie Moore, and I'm here with
Truvi.
Truvi. What type of artist are you?
I am a Jamaican artist. My music is a mix of R&B, Caribbean influences like dancehall and reggae, and Afrobeats and neo soul and lots of good things.
Good stuff, good stuff. So what are we doing today? Why are we on this beach?
Today we're going to do a beach cleanup, get some of the plastic bottles and rum bottles off the beach.
It's gonna be such a good time. It's hot as heck, but let's do it.
Let's go. Yeah.
I was born and grown up right here in White River in this community.
How did you get involved in this community?
Born and grown up here. The White River is right here, although it's called White River Fish Sanctuary. That's because that's where the fishermen are based, but it's actually a sanctuary which is in the sea.
Okay.
We're protecting the sea, the marine life, to create fishermen livelihoods so they can get better fishing, more fish, better use of their time. And so do I fish? Yeah, I used to always go down to the mouth of the White River as a child with my little line and throw it out. So I like fishing. I like to eat fish. I want them to be fish. It's you know, in Jamaica, it's been a livelihood for all the way along the coast. Lots of little fishing villages. Ocho Rios was a fishing village before it exploded. So a lot of community are relying on fishing, and the fishing is getting harder and harder because more people are going into it because it's sort of easy. You get your boat, you pay your money, you can become a fisherman.
Okay.
Or you don't even get a boat. You just pay your money for your license and you either swim out or you go ride on another person's boat. But the amount of fish has become less. People are catching more because there are more people. Because they're catching more fish and the fish are less, they're catching smaller and smaller fish.
Okay.
And smaller fish means that they're not reproducing. So we need to let the fish get to a size where they are producing eggs so that the population can rejuvenate. So the basis of this sanctuary is just that. We protect an area. It's about 3 miles. Right, the White River here is right, it's kind of in the middle of it. It goes to the west in St. Anne, to the east into St. Mary.
So how do you guys help the fish reproduce?
Yeah, so we have this mantra, PRE, protect, restore, and engage. And when you talk to the wardens later on, you're going to hear about the protect side of it. And that's really how we help the fish to come back, because we're protecting the area. Nobody is allowed to go in there and take anything, not just fish. No shells, no conch, no dead stuff, because you're improving the marine environment. So, fish need habitat, they need corals to live in. So how we get the fish to come back is we have this little, it's like having, if you grow flowers and you have a little nursery, you don't put them straight out into the garden right away. You have a protected area, you give them, you kind of give them a little nurturing, you make sure no snails and worms, and the same thing out there. We're trying to protect the area. And then, so PRE, protect, restore our coral reef. This year, every single thing, the sea fans, everything turned white. It was like looking, when you went in the water, it was like looking at a Christmas tree with lights on. Everything was white. So could they come back? Yes, they could come back if the conditions change quickly enough. Fast forward to now, I went out there last week. I mean, I've been in between too. And if you want to follow us on White River Fish Sanctuary, the Instagram, you can see a progression, because we've been talking about this since September. Basically, if it doesn't recover, if the conditions don't change, the corals stress so much that they die. Every single thing here has basically died, except for a couple of the boulder corals. So the idea is to go in the future and try and take cuttings from those corals and reproduce them. And then engage is really telling people about why is it important? Why should you not throw your rubbish in the water? I mean, the rubbish is really, the garbage is horrible. You'll find, I mean, honestly, the beach that you're going to go to, I have to wonder. It's not an official beach. It's a spit of sand. It was not closed during COVID. Everybody started coming down here, and you'd think that they would protect the one little piece of sand that you can get to. Oh no, come down there, leave your litter, walk in with your Kentucky Fried box or whatever, and say, well, when they're walking out, you say, can you take it? No, I take that with me. Why I want the rubbish in my car? And I say, well, when you walked in, it had food, which is
Yeah.
now in your belly, it wasn't rubbish. Why? When did it become rubbish?
That's so true.
Yeah.
Would it help if there were like garbage cans over there?
Who
or
is going to empty them? It
That's
is
so
not an efficient.
true.
What would really help if people got
just
into
took
their
it back,
mind
yeah.
that if you bring it in, you
Just
take
take it out. That
You know,
makes
we get
sense.
lazy here in Jamaica. Everybody they drink the juice box before they leave it in a taxi and dash it outside the window. Why?
yeah.
Taxi man must have bags in his car, or else people must squish it up and put it in their
Yeah.
pocket. And so, how does that affect Jamaica? I mean, you know, sometimes I have this little joke. I say, you know what? You should just chop up your plastic bottles and put them on your plate and put some onion and sweet pepper with it. Because when the plastic bottles go into the sea, they get smaller and smaller and smaller,
Yeah.
and it gets into the fish flesh.
Oh.
They have seen plastic in
In the
fish flesh
fish.
because it gets so small. So you're eating that fish,
Yeah.
and you're eating that plastic.
So we're going to
Anyway.
be cleaning up the beach, and how can people like get involved with White River Fish Sanctuary?
So with the sanctuary, we do a lot of diving, snorkeling. So that's one way. If you are able and you're a good diver, because we do need you to be a good diver to help with our coral restoration. The other aspect, as I said, we have outreach. So we do have we're trying to do some classes with some kids, want to go into the community maybe and have some days. So if you're, if you're good with kids or you're good at talking, you can come and maybe help us with that.
Okay.
Or even some artwork. Sometimes, it'd be nice to have some more posters around the place.
Yeah,
One of
I see
our
beautiful
volunteers did this
paintings.
painting
Yeah.
here. So one of the biggest, another message for people, how can they help, is at every instant that they get, think about litter. So yes, we can go and pick up the plastic, and that really, really helps because it is going to go into the sea. But it's putting a band-aid on it's putting
on
a
the
plaster
problem.
on the
Yeah.
problem. It's not solving the problem.
Yeah.
The problem needs to be in our head. We need to stop that littering. And I say to those people who use this beach, if you see this thing, guys, if any of you are the ones who are coming to that lovely little beach down by White River, next time you come down there, you think about your litter. Do not use the nice little beach we community have been using for years and years,
Yeah.
and we didn't have a problem with it until COVID. So that's what people could do, is really just think.
Think,
That's
and
the
that's how
biggest
they
thing
can engage
do.
in their community. It's all about the mindset, like you said. This has
Yeah.
been a good conversation. Thank
Okay,
you
well,
so
lovely
much.
meeting you.
It was
I'm
so
glad.
nice
Thanks
meeting
for coming,
you.
guys, and
Yes.
got a nice day. So
Yes.
thanks for thinking of us here at White River Fish Sanctuary. We're
Of
very little.
course.
I feel we're doing a great job, though.
I think so.
Most of our team here, everybody's a local member, and just giving, trying to make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you guys are making it work. It's been good. Thank you so
All
much.
right.
So, Cook, where are we right now?
We're at the White River on the river in the sanctuary boat, giving you guys a ride, show you around,
This is fun.
do and the don'ts,
Yeah. When did you become the president of White River Fish Sanctuary?
I think it's 2019, I become the president of the White River Fishermen Association, and also I'm the supervisor for the warden.
How do you think people can get engaged in their communities? Why do you think?
Within my time, I don't really fit in my community enough. And this is an opportunity for me to do what I can. For this will be a legacy for my family, my co-worker family, and others. To know that at least the White River Fishermen as a project that's, we can come and enjoy ourselves and be a part of it,
Yeah.
So, as a president, I always encourage my members them not to rob or bang. And when I say bang, this is our bang.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes
Stay.
we have some very bad habits. Yeah,
I'm not perfect.
Yeah, so, as I say, the education part of it is very essential, We have to continue to remind people about the purpose of a sanctuary, Yeah, man, what it's all about before the fish start getting depleted.
So you said in the over there that you didn't feel like you were part of a community. Why do you feel like you didn't fit into a community?
Why I say that is because growing up as a youth, I should be more involved in community-based projects like the Fish Sanctuary and even others, It's a eye-opening for me, As
Yeah.
they say, it can't too late for a shower or rain, So, you still play your part and play it good.
Yeah.
Once you play it good, that's it, you know? Yeah, man, for real.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love it. Thank you so much
Ah,
for
yeah,
telling us.
it's no problem.
This is good stuff.
Yes, man, blessings, of course. What's it all about? No problem.
What's something that you laughed about recently?
I went to Rick's Cafe with my cousins. She probably would hate me if I put this in the interview. Oh gosh. Anyways, the water was really rough and her panties fell off in the water and we all laughed.
Oh my god.
We all laughed and I had to hold on to her and I got a bunch of bruises on my legs from trying to hold her onto the rocks.
Oh my god.
I will not say which cousins, so.
Yeah, keep your identity safe.
That's just the first thing that came to my mind.
That's funny. That would be my worst fear if my underwear like fell off in front of everybody. That is a nightmare actually.
And the water's clear, so
my god.
you could see it all.
Oh my god.
But you know what, right after that happened to her, I jumped off of the top thing at Rick's Cafe. There's like a cliff jump. Everything came off. Everything.
Oh my gosh. Cliff jumping. I've always wanted to do that. Like, was it scary?
Yes. But it's really fun.
Is it like a really good adrenaline rush?
Yes.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I need that.
Yeah, you should go.
I'm afraid of heights, but I feel like I do want the adrenaline rush, so I have to do it. Where is this?
It's in the grill.
Oh, is that where
Yeah.
you're from?
My grandma has a house out there in White House, so we just drove over to the grill to just hang out.
Tell me about your hometown, because you said your grandma's from Negril, or has a house in Negril, but you're not from Negril. Tell me about your hometown and what it means to you.
So I'm from Kingston, Jamaica. I'm a city girl. I grew up in Stony Hill, Old Stony Hill. So I grew up in the hills, away from like the main areas of Kingston. And I loved growing up in the hills. Like I enjoyed it so much. That's my grandma's like house. So I live with my grandma and my mom, and it's just like I love being inside nature like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like surrounded by hills and trees and, you know, plants and stuff. I used to catch like moths and those little rain bugs and just line them up on my bed and play with them. And my grandpa used to catch lizards and like use his machete and cut off their tail and like chase us with it.
Oh my god.
Because
That's
you
so
know the
neat.
tail still moves
I did not
after
know
it's
that.
cut off. Yeah, I didn't like that, but that was something he did.
So what does it mean to be living in Kingston? Like, why is it meaningful to you?
It's a tough question because it's the only thing I knew for so long. I guess since moving away from Kingston, I realized that living there, every time I come back, it feels good. I mean, it's where my family is, so my family is the most important thing in my life. So Kingston is just like their location. I don't know. So I guess that's what makes it special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's home. Yeah, home
It's
makes
home.
things special. Your family makes home.
It's where I went to school, like, you know, developed, became a whole person.
Yeah. What's your favorite memory?
From
growing
school.
Up? From school, growing up.
Growing up, I feel like it would be like maybe around the ages of like 8 to 10. My dad used to take us, me and my brothers, to a farm, and the people from the farm would cook up this big pot of curry goats.
Ooh.
And it was the best curry goats I've ever had in my life. But yeah, back then, me, my brothers, and my cousins were so many. My dad would just let us roam free, just trust us at the feeble age of 10. And we would just explore all of nature, you know? One time we found a waterfall on the property.
Oh my god.
And we climbed up it, and I got stuck. And
Why?
my brothers left me.
Oh my god.
I got stuck in like the bushes around the waterfall, and my dad eventually realized I was missing and had to come with a machete and cut me out of the bushes.
That's a core memory.
It's a core memory.
What's a misconception that people have about Kingston or Jamaica?
A big misconception people have about Jamaica is that it's just a playground, you know, for Americans or tourists. You know, there are real people who live here, real lives, real issues. I don't want to get too specific, but
Or get specific.
well, there's a lot of crime in Jamaica.
Yeah.
There's a lot of poverty, a lot of governmental corruption, which is common of third world countries. But I feel like a lot of tourists come and they don't think about that at all. They just, like, for example, most of the properties, like the beach properties in Jamaica, are owned by people outside of Jamaica, non-Jamaicans.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so they don't really, they get the money and they bring it back to wherever they're from.
Yeah.
Jamaicans don't get to use the beach unless they pay these external people.
Yeah.
And I feel like they don't show as much care for the natural resources because it's not really where they're from,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like-
they're not there on the day to day and seeing like what's happening, like how like all the trash everywhere is making the beaches
Yeah, they don't really,
sick.
like, we have a big issue with the coral reefs. Like, I think 70% of it is like completely dead. So, you know, I would just wish that people consider Jamaica and Jamaican people as real, as like, just as real as you guys. You know, we
Yeah.
have lives, we have things we want to protect.
So you said you were a nature girl, you like to play with bugs sometimes.
Yeah.
What was Truvi, this is like you as a kid, what was Truvi like as a child?
I was very adventurous. I got that from my dad. I was also very shy at times. I was quiet. And I was smart. No flex. But I was smart.
I went to Brown, so yeah, you're smart.
And I had, you know, all my brothers are close in age to me, so I was like raised a tomboy. I used to like ride dirt bikes with my dad. He loves to ride dirt bikes. And my brother used to introduce me to all his friends as like, this is my sister, but she's not a girl, she's a tomboy. And I would be like, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was me growing up.
So how did you get into music?
Music has just always been around for me because I was just singing from I was 2 years old. I remember my parents, not my parents, but like my aunts and uncles would be like, shut up, because I'd sing everything.
Singing
And
in the
then
shower, just everywhere.
everywhere. Singing after I ate. They said I always sang after I ate a lot of food. So,
Food makes a happy girl.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
full belly. Happy life.
Happy life.
Happy life.
But yeah, I just continued singing. I was always in the choir. I started writing songs when I was 14 when I learned how to play guitar.
What was your first song?
Oh, it was some,
Or what was your first song
it was
about?
called Gray Skies.
Gray Skies.
It was about this
Sounds sad.
boy who I was just completely in love with and had never spoken to.
I get that. I get that.
Never spoke to this boy, but it was like a heartbreaking song about how he doesn't even notice me. I'm gonna die.
Taylor Swift.
It was giving Taylor Swift
Yeah.
for sure.
So you never spoke to this guy? Did you ever sing him the song?
I ended up becoming friends with him.
Oh, really? Did you tell him about the song?
Later on, no, because once I got to know him, I was like, I felt dumb as hell. You know?
It really be like that.
I felt silly.
We make up these stories in our heads with these guys, and once we finally get to know them, they're just like, eh.
Oh. That's what you were like.
It is. Okay, so you're into nature. We're helping out the beach today.
Yes.
You've grown up on. You didn't grow up on this beach, but you've come to this beach before when
Yes.
you were a kid, right?
I came really in like my teenage years with some friends. You know, bring a cooler and some
Yeah.
alcohol. And get litty on the beach, you know?
Living on the beach, and now we're gonna clean up this beach.
Nice.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah, wholesome experience.
Very
10 out of 10,
nice.
recommend. Okay, so that's what we're about to do. Let's get to cleaning.
Yeah!
You just came out with an EP, and I loved the album. It was so good. My favorite song is Hypnotized. What is your favorite song?
Thank you. Mine is also Hypnotized.
It's a
I
good
just
one.
feel like it's like my mermaid song,
Yeah.
you know? Fairy princess mermaid.
So what was like your thought process, or what's your writing process?
Usually I will just start with the melodies, like freestyle some melodies. And then to put the lyrics to it, usually when I'm like feeling a lot of feelings, I'll write poems, or I'll just write like, you know, screw this guy because of these reasons. And so I look back at that and I'm able to just like remind myself of that feeling. And so that's where the lyrics come from. Yeah.
What else is coming out for you?
I was in a bit of a dry spell with writing before I put out the EP.
Why?
Just like there were a lot of changes in my life and it caused a lot of anxiety. So I couldn't really focus on songwriting at the time.
Where did the anxiety like stem from?
Honestly, the fact that my life is in my own hands now, you know?
Okay.
Because during college, you're like on a path that someone has put before you.
Yeah.
Once you graduate and once you move away from your parents, not even they can guide you anymore. Like it's really just up to you.
It is.
I was stressed out, but now I'm chilling.
That's good. How did you manage it? Like, why aren't you anxious anymore?
Well, I think just time heals, you know? I feel like now is the time to start writing and putting out stuff, new stuff. And I've already started that process, so hopefully we'll have a bunch of new releases.
Excited!
Yeah!
So in 2024, who is someone that you want to collab with? Or if you could collab with anybody, who would it be?
There's so many people. I'm sorry, I'm gonna list them.
Good.
I want to collab with some Jamaican artists like Protege, Lila Ike, Mortimer, Savannah, Akina Iman. And I want to collab with some producers like, what's his name? Smino's producer, Monty Booker.
Ooh.
He's so sick.
Yeah, let's speak it out.
I want to work with Jules, the producer, Izzy Beats. Lauren Hill should put me in one of her songs.
She should. I could see you.
You feel me?
I can feel it.
I could see that too. Her, Call Me Up. I want to be on a 21 Savage song, I'm Not Gonna Lie to You, or I want him to sing a song about me.
Ooh.
So many collabs in the future.
I like
so
it.
Many.
I love it. I can totally see that in the future, and it's gonna happen.
Everybody's gonna get a Truvi feature.
Ooh.
Truvi around the world next year. Everybody I get a Truvi feature. Look out for it.
Look out for it. Thank you so much for doing this cleanup with me. This was so much fun.
We had so much fun.
This was such a great experience. Everybody should like come when they're on vacation and do a beach cleanup.
Yeah, that would be amazing, honestly.
And help out the places that we're like coming on vacation to.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my gosh, Kirstie!
What are you doing here?
You know, I'm just like visiting some family members out here.
Oh my gosh, you know what? You never read your love letter to us.
Oh, you're so right. Oh my gosh.
You want to go read it?
I mean, yeah, why not?
Okay, let's go.
There is nothing I'm more proud of than to be able to call Jamaica my home. The pride of Jamaican people is known internationally. If someone is Jamaican, they'll make sure everyone knows. Jamaica, you have taught me so much about the realities of this world while showing me some of its greatest beauties. Jamaica, you taught me love, pride, and humility. You taught me about injustice, that the world na level, and that it is everybody's responsibility to help each other however we can. Community is a fundamental pillar of Jamaican life. I always say I can't get away with anything when I'm home because it will always find its way back to my mom or my grandma. Somebody's auntie, cousin, god brother will always catch me acting up and tell on me. But that is something that I find so beautiful about the Jamaican community, because at the same time when someone is sick or sad or needing support, there is a whole community of prayers going up for them. Jamaica, you are my inspiration. Your legacy of greatness spans so many different fields. It would be an honor to add to this legacy through my music. I am grateful to you, Jamaica, for giving me so many examples of the impact that small communities, one person even, can have on the world. One of our favorite phrases is "Wiliko but Witalawa." The world has never seemed too big for me because Jamaica has taught me that my impact can be great even though I'm just one person. My beautiful island of Jamaica, you have my heart and you go with me wherever I go.
So where can people find you?
Instagram at truvi.music. If you look me up on Spotify, just look up Truvi and you'll find me. Spotify, Apple Music, all platforms. Yeah, those are my main platforms.
Bet. And this is the end of another episode of Dear Neighborhood. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your favorite part of the video. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Wish I could read